Hi, welcome back. In the previous episode, we created a session, if you remember, like this. So these are all user sessions, and we call the session name Jimmy. We also looked at the cookie, and in today's lesson, we're going to register a new user. So our Jimmy here is going to have another friend. Maybe we'll replace him with Emma. Let's find out.
All right. Hey, everybody. So, in the last episode, you had your first introduction to session handling, right? Sessions 101. But now, let's kick things up a notch and figure out an actual practical use case for sessions within an application. All right, let's get going. If I open my routes file, yeah, of course, we will build a form to register a new user. So let's start with the routes, and we'll keep it very simple. This will go into a controllers directory, and why don't we call it, I don't know, registration/create. How about that? All right, let's go in here, create a new directory called registration.
So you notice what's happening here? He's created a directory here. So this is probably another resource. So there's probably going to be registration/create, registration slash, where is it? It should probably be profile/create, but let's see where he goes with this. Then it should be registration/submit as well, right? How do you save this information? Get request, delete, get batch, post request. Yeah, registration/store.
And then our first PHP file for create. All right, so this will load a view, and just like before, it'll go in a registration directory, and we'll name it the same thing. All right, let's create the view. Views. Let's add our directory, and then create.
Okay, let's follow along. So we are, wait, did I not submit the previous, this thing? I'll commit it. I won't push it right now. I'll just commit the changes. So pushing just means sending it to GitHub or any remote repository, in my case GitHub. I'll close everything, go to routes, and let's create a router get in/register. This route goes to /registration/create.php. Did you call it registration or register? Registration. Okay. Semicolonize it. Why? What's wrong? Not save it. Yeah, okay. Sometimes the red squiggly doesn't go away until you save it. Cool, let's go to controllers and create a, by the way, if you want to create a new file within a folder, I'll just create a new file right here and say registration/create.php. See, ta-da, it's inside a folder. Nice little shortcut for you. PHP, and I wanna view registration/create.view.php. Just for consistency, I'll single inverted comma. Okay, now let's create that. Reviews registration.view.php. This is notes. Yeah, registration.view.php. But it should be in the registration directory. So no, it should be registration/create.view.php. Yeah. See, so this is the registration directory, this is the create.php. Oh, did I? No, this is fine. So, can you please open it? Inside views, registration. Wait, what happened? Yeah, move to recycle. Inside registration, I want create.view.php. Oh, weird. PHP and echo. Hi there. Hello. Let's see if that worked. Register route gives me a 500 error because let's see if that helped. Yeah, hi there, hello. Okay, cool, it worked.
And I'm sorry, I forgot we gave these a .view extension.
I didn't forget. That's fine. Please don't apologize, Jeffrey.
All right, and then just to save myself a little time, why don't we grab some of this, and then we can replace it all with, we can replace little time, why don't we grab...
You grabbed it from the index view.
Some of this, and then we can replace it all with register here, something like that. All right, let's have a look in the browser. All right, so here's the home page, and yeah, I don't yet have a link to register. We will probably put it right up here. But yeah, for now, if I manually visit that URI, all right, it works. Now, of course, in this case, I get a warning because we haven't yet provided a heading variable, but sure enough, we are loading this page.
Okay, let's do that. I'll provide a heading variable, registration create, and I think this is how we did it. Heading G18 is create your profile or account. Create your account. That's how we did it, right? Let's see. Header is what I called it. Okay, cool. Smallify all of it, then create.php should instead just borrow from one of these views. Where's the notes view? Here. Notes index. Yeah. I'll just copy everything, and in the registration create view I'll paste it in, and here I'll just say yo register. Why are you squiggling me? Unexpected. Oh, because I'm a PHP tag within a PHP tag. Yeah, never. Let's see if it works. Hello Jimmy, your register. Interesting. The banner is hello Jimmy. It's picking it up from my cookies, that's fine. Where's the header then? That's how I'm doing it, right? View this header my notes.php. Oh, I'm overwriting it. Yeah, I'm overriding it. So I'll go to banner again, which is in partials. Yeah, here it is. So I'll comment this out and I'll put this back in. Minouch. Register. Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, so here's what I'd like to do next. I will once again visit tailwindui.com, and I promise I'm not trying to sell you on it at all.
You can. It's a wonderful library or framework, whatever you want to call it.
But they do provide some free templates that are great for little exercises like this.
Thank you.
So I'm going to look for some kind of form. Yeah, it looks like they have one to sign in and register, and this should be fine for our needs. So why don't we copy this and see if we can make use of it. I will.
Let's do it. Tailwind. Is this it? Yeah. No. Page sections. Example pages. There's no forms here. Forms, here it is. Let's see. No, not a stacked list. Why did I click on list? Forms, this one. No. Where's the registration form?
So why don't
Tailwind components preview. I guess I was in the right section. I was right here. Form. Here it is. I'll copy it. And I'm gonna close everything, collapse everything, go to the registration view, and instead paste this. Let's see how this looks. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'll just remove the start your 14-day free trial. It's nice of them to put it there, but yeah. Nice.
Why don't we copy this and see if we can make use of it. I will place it, I'm not sure, maybe within this main tag. Yeah. So let's scroll up and yeah, we already have the forms component. Here they want us to update the HTML and body tags to make the height 100%, but I don't know if we'll even worry about that. So let's get rid of that. And yeah, let's just cross our fingers and see how this looks. So if I come back and give this a refresh, I still see my warning, but sure enough, we have the beginnings of a login form or a registration form. Okay, so next, I don't think we need a banner here, so let's hide it, and that will remove the warning. And yeah, I think this looks good. So now let's just update a few.
Nice. So I'm gonna do the same thing. That's a good idea. Yeah, we don't need this. And we don't need the banner. And in fact, in the banner, let me go back. I like the other one better. Yeah, this one. Hello user. This one was better. Yeah, this one's better. Okay.
Few things like sign in would change to register. All right. What about this section here? Instead of signing in, we are going to register for a new account. We're not going to have any kind of trial. All right. Remember me and forgot your password. Those are useful, but we're not going to worry about that here. So let's grab, forgot your password. Here we go. Let's grab all of that. Give it a reformat, come back, refresh. And this is good enough, at least for the demo. Okay, so now, and by the way, this is populated maybe from my password manager, but of course, we have an email address and a password. So the next thing I'd like to do is update the form itself. And
okay, let's do that. Give me a second. So we're removing, so instead of signing into your account, we're saying create an account. Create a new account. Create a new account. Email address, password. We are not going to need the forgot password. So I'll remove it. By the way, notice how much easier the Tailwind hide classes, minimize classes, whatever it says. Extension makes it traversing this. It's just smallifying every single class thing. I don't want a free trial, and this is assuming you're creating a member, not signing in. So I'll remove this too. Sign up. And password. Where is the remember password field? Oh, I don't have a remember password field. Okay. I think there's a little too much space between these, but it looks clean, so I like it. I'll keep it.
you can see, what do they give us by default? It's going to make a post request, but the action is a hash symbol. So why don't we have it post to that exact same endpoint? And then we will have a look at each field. All right, so yeah, in our database, we're going to call this column email. So why don't we update this like so? All right, password looks good. And then the only thing I don't see is some validation errors. So I think...
Yeah, give me a second. We're submitting a post request to /register, and label for email is what he did as well. Yeah, label for email, label for password. Input ID email. That's what we did? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool.
We did this. Let's go into notes/create. And yeah, a number of episodes ago, didn't we have something? Yeah, right there. All right, let's switch back. And I don't know if this is right, but we could try putting it there to start. And we could say if there's any errors for the email, show it here. This may not be right for formatting with this component, but it's good enough at least to illustrate the approach. And we'll do the same thing if there happens to be any errors for the password. All right, come back, give it a refresh, and this looks good to me. Okay, so now if I were to submit this form, of course we're going to get a 404 because it tried to submit a post request to /register, but we haven't yet created a route for that.
Right.
So that would be the next step. Go back to your routes.
Is that why I was getting a patch error? No, okay, cool. So let's do this. In fact, I'm going to do this. Router, post request to the register, endpoint loads, controller, registration, store.php, I believe. Controller, registration, controllers, registration. Yeah. Add one called store.php. Echo. Yeah, it worked. Now let's add the validations as well. They were, I believe, in create.view itself. Yeah, here. If there's an error for email, then right after this, show this. Email. Yeah. And if there's a error for password, right after this, show this. Okay, we're gonna implement the logic here in a bit, but for now let's see if this works. I'll refresh, sign up. Oh, it has built-in validation at abc.com. Nice. Sorry, page not found. Interesting. Register. The post request didn't register. How come? I'm in routes, post. I want /register. Sorry. Go back home. Although it did do the same thing, it didn't like that. Yeah. Get request for register. Localhost page isn't working. Register. register. Register is fine. Controllers. There's something wrong here. regis. Registration. Registrion. REGISTRA. Registration. Registrion. Sorry. I'll resubmit it. Yeah, it worked. Cool. Let's go.
File. I will duplicate this line and now listen
I should have just duplicated it. Yeah.
for a post request, and that will hit a store action or a store controller.
Yes.
Okay, come on up and let's duplicate this store. And now I'm just going to say here to show that it works, register the user. Okay, come back, give it another try, hit register, and now we have hit that endpoint. Okay, so of course at this point, within the post super global, we should have access to the email address and the password that the user provided. So let's give that a shot. I will type password here, we register, and we see it looks like Tailwind has some kind of remember input that I will get rid of. But then we have our email address and our password. Okay, so that means the provided email will be post email. The provided password would be post password. Okay, so now, yeah, at this point, you're going to follow the exact same steps that we've used for every other form, just with a slight tweak. So think about it. We would want to validate the form inputs. We would want to, but then at this point, after we validate, think about it, you'd want to check. What if I try to register Jeffrey at Laracast.com, but there's already an account for Jeffrey at Laracast.com? We need to check for that. So check if the account already exists. And then at this point, we would have a branch. So like, if so, if yes, then we'll think about it. What should happen? If somebody tries to register an account, but there's already an account, maybe we should let them know. Maybe we should redirect them to a login page. How about that? Redirect to a login page that we haven't yet created. Okay. Otherwise, we could say, If the account doesn't exist, then create it or save it or save one to the database and then log the user in and redirect. That's sort of what we're dealing with here. And yeah, a quick note on these comments. Of course, you don't have to do things like this. You can skip over it. But I find, even after having done this for years and years, it's useful just to get your mind in order of what do I need to do. You know, if you're trying to plot out your day, you might take out a notepad and say, I got to do this and this and this. The same is going to be true for the programs you write. And then when you're done, you can just erase each comment as you complete it. All right, so in this case, validate the inputs. Well, I could say validator, and you'll remember we have two methods, one to validate a string and one to validate an email. So why don't we start with the email? Validate the email, and if it is not valid, then let's append to an errors array like we've done before. So we might say errors, email, please provide an email address. And not just an email address, but a valid email address. All right, next, why don't we validate the password? Let's do a string for the password. And you'll remember when we created this a number of episodes ago, we can accept the number of characters.
Thank you. Okay, let's follow along. I'll close everything. There should be like an auto minimize extension on VS Code. I keep doing this a lot. Okay, let's gather our thoughts. Yes, so in the view, I want to have a name field as well, so that I can fetch the user's name right there. Registration create, and just copy this. I'll copy this all for the name as well. For username and ID username, your name. Should I have a username or just like a name? Yeah, instead of username, I'll have user's name. That makes it more clear. So it's user apostrophe s name. Okay. Now, user's name and type is just a string, so I won't do either of this. Yeah, it is required. Cool. So user's name, if is set user's name. So if there's an error for user's name, show that error for user's name. Okay. Your name, email address, password. Let's see how that looks. Register. Yeah. Your name, email address, password. 3 things. That's enough. Okay. So we have a name as well in the post super global now. Let's actually dump it. Store post coda code What? God, I keep forgetting semicolons. Yeah. User's name is Scott, email is whatever, and password as well as whatever. Cool. This is done. Now I wanna store this, right? So a lot of the work, the last few minutes of this lesson are gonna be here. So I want to store this. User's name equals $user's name equals the host super global user's name, and duplicate this for email and password. No. Okay, let's refresh. Yeah. Oh, I'm not showing anything. Echo user's name. Concatenate with, not add email, not hash email. What? Email concatenate with password and semicolon. Nice. Yeah. Okay, cool, works. Now that I have this, I wanna validate each of this. Let's have an errors array first. Errors. Errors is an empty array first of all. Now validate. Nice, it auto imported. Love it. Validate the string user's name should be 1 and 15. Append to the errors array oh, not this, yeah. User's name if your name can't be what? Skip this. Longer than 15 characters. Yeah. Let's see if that worked. Okay. Go to register. Longer than 15 characters. What? It did work. Was it not longer than 15 characters then? Now definitely it's... No. Okay, let's see what he does. So he has a
that we want to check for.
validator. Oh yeah, Jesus Christ. Sorry. I'm doing the longer version of this. It should just be... Jeez. And am I validating it there? Rather, am I showing it there? Yeah, I am. No? If the name is not valid, if this string is not valid, Chalo, let's do this first. Email. I'm gonna get back to you. If not validator email. I forgot its implementation. I'll check it though. Email. Copy this, paste it here. Tailwind does this automatically, so I don't know. We don't need to do this, but let's see. Nada. Okay, let's see.
So why don't we say a password has to be at least 7 characters, but no more than 255 characters. 255 is just a common maximum character count for your database varchars or variable character.
Yeah, that's because 256 is unit of memory, so bit talking in terms of bits. So it goes 2-bit, 4-bit, 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit, 128-bit, 256 bits. So that's why 255. It's the maximum you can do in 256 bits.
Columns. Okay. So the next step would be, well, if the errors array is not empty, then we have a problem. So again, you will eventually learn about a process where if validation fails, you would actually redirect. But at this point, we're still going to return a view. So let's return our registration / create.
Yeah, I forgot doing that.
Create view. And then I'm going to pass through the corresponding errors.
Let's do it. If I know I'll validate password as well. If what? If not empty. Empty errors. If the errors array is not empty, then we'll create .php registration create view PHP. Okay. Registration. I wanna return it. Alrighty. And I'll also pass the errors. I know I still have to do it for what? Did I do it the other way? No, I did it the right way. Oh, I need. Sorry. Okay, cool. I know I need to validate the password as well. Okay, cool. I'll do it. I'll do it. Stop yelling at me. Fine. Validator string string for password minimum 1, no, sorry, minimum 7, max to 55. Bro. Longer password, please. Errors in password. Yeah. If the errors is not empty, then return the create view and pass in the errors array. Yeah. Can't be longer than this, bro. All of them. Okay, cool. Jimmy J at joe.com. Password is something AST. Bro, longer password, please. Yeah, I'm deleting this, so I should pass in the object as well. Instead of passing this in, let me in this field input value equals, right? That's what it was, right? I'll wait for him to do this. It's probably value equals.
All right, and then, oh yeah, I forgot to update this. If we have a password validation error, please provide a password of at least 7 characters. Okay, so let's give this a shot in the browser. All right, so back on the registration form, let's try a password of only 3 characters. And yeah, of course, it looks like the styling isn't quite right there. I see a shadow. I'll have to figure out what Tailwind UI wants you to do there.
Is there a shadow for me? No, there isn't. Okay.
But otherwise, it doesn't really matter. Sure enough, we are triggering a validation error, and then we provide feedback to the user, which is good. All right, so let's switch back. And at this point, if we get beyond this clump of code, that later I'll show you how to clean up and organize better, then we can move on to this section. Check if the account already exists. So what we might want to do is grab or resolve our database class that we created. And then I could say db query, and let's say select star from the users table where the email address equals the one that was submitted through the registration form. And if there is, well, think about it. That means, hey, we already have an account for that email address. So let's run that query. We'll send through the email and get the result. So we'll save that to result and then find a corresponding record and then die and dump. And we'll have a talk about this. All right, so before we run this in the browser, let's switch over to Table Plus, and we'll have a look at that users table from a number of episodes ago. And yeah, right now it just has a name and an email. Why don't we tweak this a little bit? Let's say instead of name, we're gonna have a password that cannot be null. Okay, so now, again, it's super simple. In real life, you'll have many more columns. But at the moment, our users table contains an email address and a password, and that's it. And let's then populate it with something like joe@example.com, and then a password that's stored in clear text, which is a really big no-no. And we're going to fix that in a little bit, but not quite yet. Okay, and yeah, we'll give it a shot. All right, so back to the register page. We will register an email address that already exists in the database, and we should die, and there we go. We die and dump the results. We already found a corresponding record. Now in this case, we don't even need to do anything with the results. So if you want, you could check if the record exists, or you check for the count using a SQL query, but this will be fine.
How about we take a break here and come back and do the rest of it a little later? I think we've made enough progress right now. I'll make part 2 of this, and we'll see how we go from there. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to follow along and learn with me, go to laracast.com. This entire series is available for free there. Jeffrey Way's teaching it. He's also put it up on YouTube. Both of the links are in the description of this video. Thank you, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye.